everybody. Captain Bill Saiff III on the back deck of the Rod and Reel Junior. Got my buddy TJ Malone, neutral Frank, locked in battle with a big fish here. We've come all the way down the shoreline in gin clear water with barely a strike forward. And we decided to cut cross slots from point to point over about 30 feet of water. So we bumped up from our normal stinger pattern. We came up on the dash and we grabbed a stingray size bait like this one here, but in a black widow. And we dropped that baby on the downrigger to give a bigger profile and hope that we would tag a big brown. Dropped at 11 feet, coming across in 25, 30 feet of water. And we saw the downrigger flicker and it popped, and just a huge fish burned a ton of line out. We don't know whether we have a king on or a big laker or a big hog brown, but it's a fish of epic proportions here. And TJ's locked right up on him tight. Should be a really good fish. Step to your left, TJ, now. Let's move him to the middle. Okay, wind down. Perfect. We got a burgeoning north wind here, northeast wind, and we're just trying to work this fish across. We're trying to find some warm water that's pocketed anywhere here on the shoreline, but with offshore breezes, we've got gin clear water, so it's making the planer board and the weight rod bite a little bit fickle today. Look at the bend of this Okuma deadeye. He's just hammering. 10 feet, easy. There he is, got a line on a big giant trout. Giant trout, Frank. Let me pull the net here. Man, he smoked that thing. I can't even get over the size of this trout, lake trout, for being in here in the spring of the year. He's just a smasher. Wind down, forward, Frank. Easy. Neutral. Just a giant fish. Heard me say it a million times that a big laker in the spring of the year will wear these browns out. Wind down to forward, Frank. Easy, wind down again. Stop. Raise them, back up. Got it. Wow, forward, Frank. Just a giant trout in the net. An absolute pig monster of a friggin' trout right there. He is just gigantic and hooked right in the end of the nose. If we'd have done one thing wrong with that fish, he'd have been off the hook. Buddy boy, awesome, dude. Man, that is a giant spring lake trout. Look at the fat belly on that guy. TJ, he was fighting like crazy, wasn't he, buddy boy?
He was.
Look at the jaw on that. How'd you like to be bait fish and see that thing coming at you? Whew. Brutal. Dandy trout. Jumping the size. I'll show you what we did. We went right to the black widow right there in a stingray size. Dropped that down 11 feet on the rigger. It wasn't in the water 5 minutes and that big guy was on.
Heavy boat pressure in cold, clear conditions can be the kiss of death for shoreline fishermen in the spring of the year. That's exactly the situation that we were faced with. So we move offshore to a piece of structure, and it gives us an opportunity to do a technical segment for you on what we did this particular day to generate additional strikes.
Let's do a quick tip here and just show you a little of something that we're doing to stay on top of the fish today. Got quite a few boats out fishing in conjunction here with the Saiff Charter fleet today, and not a lot of bites because it's been in clear water. So these boats are beating up the shoreline, so we're going to go to our Garmin touchscreen for this tip, and we're going to show you a little bit of what we're doing. Let's take a look at this right here. We've got sonar going on over here on the right hand side, and we've got mapping. If we just touch this side, we're going to go straight to mapping. So if you look at this and we shrink this shoreline down, you can take a look. Most 90% of the boats have been working this area in 5 to 6 feet all the way up and down this shoreline because we've got a little color in this area, but more importantly, we've got temperature that's right here after a couple days of northeast wind. If you'll notice out here, here's a sunken island that's out offshore. So what we've done is, while these boats are working in here along this edge, we've just slid out, and you can see my boat track right here. You can actually zoom right in, and we'll take a look at that island, and you can see that track where we come right in here and lay the planer board right up on the edge of that. That island at mean high water is just a foot or 2 feet below the surface, and of course we've got high water right now, so there might be 3 feet of water over the top of that, but basically we're working the edge of that and we're taking strikes right here. And the key to that is we're all by ourselves, and when you're all by yourself, sometimes you can forego a little bit of temperature, you can forego a little bit of color, just to be in a location where the fish haven't been beat up and haven't been run over the top of by a lot of other boats. So while we look for temperature and we look for color, and those are key and they're critical, assess the pressure that you've got from other boaters and try to find a spot that you can get away where brown trout should be on the edge that maybe haven't been hit before. The other beauty of that shallow water expanse is that it's broken rock, so you know that the round goby minnow is going to be all over the top of that in the spring of the year. So hasn't been picked over, ample food supply, even if it's a little bit clear and even if the temperature's not quite right, it's still a top pick and a top spot to move into and have some action on brown trout, especially in a pressure situation. Okay, here's the key. We just got done doing that technical segment on fishing an area that's unpicked over, and you can see right here that the boat's still in position on the edge of that island. We missed a fish right here, and bingo, we're doubled on the outside, coming right up on the edge of that island. And as these fish get just a little bit closer, we'll come back to you with the action. But 3 hits there, Dave, and a double on.
Absolutely, yep.
Work to absolute perfection, doing something just a little bit different than what the next guy's doing. We'll be back to you in just a minute. Nice and easy, buddy. Good fish coming right here on the outside.
Big brown.
Big brown?
Yep.
I'm going to come right by you here. Okay, wind down, easy, raise him, easy, nice. Got him, Dave? Beautiful, he's got the weight rod.
Yep.
Big brown on a black widow right there, just a smashing big fish. Beautiful, beautiful brown. There's the black widow. I think you're going to be able to get that undone pretty quick, Dave.
Yep.
Without the side shot. Oh, what a nice brown. Work to perfection, Dave, coming right out and hitting the edge of that island. Money in the bank.
Getting offshore, get some water underneath you when it's clear.
I just showed everybody. I just panned out on the Garmin touchscreen and showed that piece of structure, and it worked. And bingo, hadn't any more than shut the camera off, and boom, we're doubled. We're doubled.
Yeah.
Nice fish on a Sodas Point buckeye. That guy's a little smaller fish. We're gonna drop that guy back. Perfect. Your players are right there if you need them. There he is. We're gonna nice healthy fish. We're gonna let him go right back, and away you go. Boom, boom, boom. 3 hits, got 2, Frankie, baby.
We continue to work this offshore piece of structure and are constantly taking browns. Once some small boaters notice us dipping nets on these fish, they move out into that location. It quiets the action on brown trout, and it's time for us once again to ease into a new fishing area.
Right here, got Captain Dave Zangari with me and my old buddy Frank Malone at the wheel. Took a good strike here from the outer bank of rods here on the port side, the deep water side. We were just coming from 6 to 8 feet of water, a little bit to the right, PJ. He might be gonna come in this weight rod, Dave. I'm not sure. He's kind of angling that way. I'm not. Yeah, you're underneath him, I guess. Yep, go right over the top of him, Frank, and right out to this side. Perfect. Perfect. A little bit to the left, PJ. A good fish here coming in. The fog's rolling in. You can see here we're barely looking at shoreline. We love coming back and fishing in our home port of Henderson. The variety, the diversity, the size of the fish is excellent in the month of May. And in a cold water year like this year, there's a good chance it's going to stay strong right to June. A little to the right, TJ, into the wind. See that fish glowing down there, Dave. I don't know whether it's a laker or brown. It was hard to tell. Moving pretty good, isn't he? Hey, TJ, your red throttle all the way down, right? Attaboy. Wheel to the right just a little bit. That's a good fish, Dave. Real good fish. Thank goodness we got expert Frank Malone on the rod. Big brown, Dave. Big brown. Big dude right there, isn't it, Dave? Black forward. Wind on him. Nice brown. Just an absolute crusher. How's he doing, Frank?
He feels good, man.
Wheel to the right just a little bit, TJ.
Feels good. I'm having fun with this one.
And neutral, black to the middle. We can play these games out in 16 feet of water. Look at this guy coming. Keep him coming, keep him coming, wind down. Black forward. Bump in and out, and neutral. Good, brown right here. Keep coming, keep coming. Keep coming just like that, easy. Keep coming, keep coming. Get him, Dave. Look at that. Forward, TJ, black forward. Look at this guy. Look at that brown. Slammer, Dave. What a beautiful, beautiful fish that guy is. Look at that emerald shiner. Just a smasher of a brown right here. Frank, done it again. Holy smokes. A little bit to the left, buddy. Always getting the big fish.
Always a good time here, man. No doubt.
Ooh, awesome, brother. Wow. Pick that guy up, Dave, and pose him with Frank, will you? Put that weight rod back in. Emerald shiner, a little bit to the left, TJ. Just such a classic bait. Look at that guy. Natural baits. We go natural in the waters like that. Overcast coming across, just getting to pull on Stony Point Light, and he does it, right, Dave?
You got it.
Awesome, awesome.